Alright, welcome everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome to the first video on the new setup here. Nice clean ESD mat, which won't stay clean for very long. But here we have the first of I think 6 or 7 monitors for the same person out of Kansas City. And they brought all these down to me, including the picture tubes and everything, so we can get all the colors adjusted and everything for those. But this was in this person's, it's a K7000 obviously, and it was in their Mortal Kombat 2, and it was working, but it had issues that required a cap kit. So they took it out, cleaned it, capped it, put it back in, and it didn't work. So the first thing you want to do obviously is a very good visual inspection, but it is clean. So they, took it with the simple green and the hose and cleaned it all off. So it's immaculately spotless. It's a fantastic canvas here to work on. But the first thing I noticed when taking it off the picture tube was that the contrast pot is broken. So if we zoom in here, we can see the contrast pot is broken. So I'll have to change that, but that won't keep it from operating, and that won't keep it from won't keep it from working, and it won't give us any issues other than just not being able to adjust contrast. So that's not a big problem. But the rest of the pots all seem okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. Neck board is in good shape as well. I don't see any physical or obvious issues with that, except for a couple of bent up resistors, which is normal. These get mishandled and everything. But as far as this goes, I don't see any other issues with that. But I did notice right offhand off the inspection what the main problem is. So, okay, let's go over this. So, it worked before the cap kit, and now it doesn't work. So, if we look at the fuse is blown. If we look at it here, the fuse is, we get a good shot of it here. Right. I got some. It's blown right there. Sorry, my nails are dirty. I've been working on these monitors more than just this one, moving stuff around, and got all dirty here. Sorry, but okay, so you can see right, if this will focus, right there, the fuse is bad. And if we get our meter just to verify, we'll touch our leads together. Why does this not have a good... There we go. Okay. Leads are good. Touch the fuse. We get nothing. Fuse is dead. So we can take that, throw it away. And what I saw immediately was C57 is in backwards. You can see the line with the stripe is the negative. It's right there by the positive. And not only that, it's bulging. So C57 got installed backwards. I'm sure that's the likely cause of this issue, but we're going to go ahead and go through and make sure nothing else is backwards. So C56 is correct, 58 and, I'm sorry, 20 and 21 are correct. This one didn't get changed out, but we'll change it. It's, correct. The color, the bipolar caps didn't get replaced, so we'll change those as well. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. C50 is correct. Yeah, I think they're all good except C57 is backwards, so we'll change that. But we'll also go through and verify everything else is okay. I'm sure that being backwards caused any number of other issues. So let's put our meter in diode mode and let's check our HOT. HOT is good. We got our 0.4 voltage drop to each leg from the negative on the middle, and to each outer leg should be 0.5 voltage drop, give or take. So 0.47 and 0.47, that's good to go. Voltage regulator, we're looking to be about 180 ohms, and you can test the voltage regulator. The easiest way, just go to the B+ resistor, should be around 180 ohms. And 176, and it's rise 170. Oh, I got a bad connection here. There we go. 178, 179. So voltage regulator is fine. HOT is fine. Let's go through and test our power circuit components. We'll start with C38. Make sure our width cap isn't shorted. That's these 2 points right here. C38 is not shorted. Let's make sure D18 is not shorted. And it is not. Let's make sure C36 is not shorted, which it won't because our HOT is not shorted. But if you go caddy corner here, we should get our 0.47 voltage drop diagonal this way and also diagonal this way, and we do, so those are all right. Okay, we're going to need to do a lot of reflow on this, but just here initially, those are fine. We can test our rectifier diodes just to make sure that those aren't an issue. D19 is good. D20 is covered in glue, but it's good. D21 is covered in glue. To test that from the other side, D21 and D22 are covered in glue. D24 is good. D23 is good as well. So let's test D21 and D20, which I'm sure they're fine. The other way. There we go, and there we go. All right, so that's all good. Let's check R103. Should be around 3 ohms. 2.8. All right. R104 should be 15 ohms. That's good. R89 should be 3.9, around 3.9 anyway. 3.748, and that's good. Again, that's this ceramic resistor there. R101 should be around 5K in circuit. And we get 4.8, so that's fine. R96 is 1.8K. Come on. 1.85, okay, 1.8, so that's fine. R97 should be 270 ohms, and we get 272. R88 should be 1.8K also. Yeah, 1.824. Well, I have to say that I think our only issue here is C57 got put in backwards. So let's replace the fuse and replace C57 and fire it up and see what it does. But in the meantime, let's go through here and do some strategic reflow because this needs it. See if we can get a better idea here. R89 is almost completely barren of solder. That is, let's grab our pointing device. That's this joint here and this joint here are almost completely barren of solder. Looks like they tried to reflow R96. They got this joint, but they did not get this joint. This joint here is not good. Look at that one. That's not good at all. Bikini at all. So let's hit this one. Okay, and we'll reflow this one. Let's hit C38 is pretty weak. And we'll hit the header pins here for the yoke because those are awful thin. All right. Now let's grab R89 here. And doesn't really need it, but just to future-proof this, what we'll do is we're just going to add a big bridge here. There we go. That'll future-proof that. R101 is looking very crusty here. right there, as it traditionally does. So we're going to hit that. And we're going to bridge it over to the next pad here like we always do, just to future-proof this. There we go. Got it. Just like so. All right. Now, anything else? R104 seems to be rather good, but we'll hit that one anyway. Filter cap is looking pretty weak. R103. Hit R103 there real quick. And flyback pins all look okay. Not too bad. We'll hit up this C36 here real quick. Just this one leg. Alright. Voltage regulator is no pin on that one, but we'll hit it anyway. So I think this is just a case where a cap got put in backwards and they let it run for too long and took the fuse out. But that's okay, little K7000. You're going to be happy and healthy here very shortly. Okay, looking over this, they already reflowed the video input header pins, which is good. That looks pretty good to me. I don't really see much else. It's clean. I'll have to go through and clean up all this flux that I just created here later once we do the testing. But I think that will work. Just cleaning up a few more things here that need it, but otherwise I think that will do. HOT solder joints look fine. Okay, I think that'll work. Now let's yank this backwards C57 out of here. Okay, there it is. Set that aside. We'll just grab our handy dandy braid. Quick and easy, just like that. Alright, now I gotta find another C57. 250 volt 47 is what's supposed to be in there, and I just happen to have, let's see here, a handful. Let's grab a new one here. Alrighty, and let's make sure we put it in correctly this time, and I need to use the other hole for this. There we go. Okay. Come on. Okay, there we go. All right, now that's incorrectly. So we'll solder this guy in here. And there we go. We've tested all of our critical components. All we found was the backwards C57. So I guess let's go ahead and replace. Okay, I need to clean this flux up here. I'll do that later. Let's go ahead and replace the fuse, and I'm also going to go off camera. I'm going to go through and replace these caps that didn't get replaced, like these 3 bipolar caps. Those got overlooked. Then there's a 100 microfarad capacitor here that's only there in that location when this mod's installed. So we're going to change that one and these 3 bipolar caps. I'll do that off camera when I clean up all the flux. Yeah, I guess what we'll do here is I'll get a new fuse, but we'll also, let's replace this broken contrast pot here as well. There's no reason not to, since we got the iron on already. Resolder while the iron is hot, as they say. Okay, there's our broken pot removed. Just fell apart in the old hand. We're going to throw that in the garbage. And let's grab a replacement. I'm pretty sure I've got one on hand here. Okay. Let's dig through this. See what we can find. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of the pots, but if I've got a spare remote board I could just steal that off of. Here we go. I got a whole bunch of 7200 K7000 ones in here, like a dozen of them. So I think I'll just steal the contrast pot. It's the same rating. I'll steal the contrast pot from this one, and well, maybe not. It's a different form factor. I could probably make it work though. Let's see if we can make it work. Okay, it's out. Alright, so let's just see if we can. If not, then I will have to put it back in. So let's clean up these feet here real quick. Okay, and let's see if we can do some magic here. Pretty sure that I can. Jackpot. No problem. So I just bent those legs out a bit and made a, I don't know if you can even tell. So we'll just zoom in here. You can see what I did there, just like that. And if you look, it not only fits in there now, they go in completely. There's plenty sticking out to solder onto. There you go. So that'll work. Okay, let's tack it in here with one leg. It's been one leg since you soldered me. Cocked your pot to the side and said I'm angry. All right. So there we go. All right. Now, I think that will suffice for what we need to do. Take this cap and throw it away. Make sure we get all tools accounted for here before we kind of go further. So we'll put that stuff away. And all right, so let's test it. I gotta grab my fuse here. Normally I'd use my, where'd my fuses go? Normally I would use my circuit breaker, but I'm confident that based off our testing that we're not going to blow another fuse. So do I really only have 3? I only have 3. I just placed an order for stuff and I didn't order fuses. Gosh darn it, that's okay. I can acquire some later. All right, new fuse going in. There we go. Alrighty, so let's get it on the tube and see if we are successful. Alright, so here is the first reveal here of the monitor on the new workbench on the rotisserie that will allow me to spin this around and do some quick adjustments and stuff if I need to. And you can see just how close this is to the tube. But everything's hooked up here. We have anode, neck, yoke, ground, power, video, and remote. The critical 7, so we can power this up without worry of damaging something, with leaving something unhooked, as I've mentioned many times. So here we have our video and power, and again, this is designed so I can actually do the testing here. If I need to, I should say, I can just simply flip this around, make some quick adjustments, blah, 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 turn it back this way, and go back to working. So that's the whole idea with this, and you know, I don't dare pull it out here any further than it is. I mean, there's no chance of it falling off, but it's very close here to the overhead camera, but for the purposes of testing, it's just fine. So now I have the ability to use the rotisserie where I didn't have it before. Now I'm just talking about 25-inch monitors because the 19s had no problem with the rotisserie. I didn't really use it much, but I think I'm going to be using it rather a lot here. That's the idea. Maybe I won't, maybe I will, but I plan on using it a lot if I can, in a situation where I can. Like if I have a 27-inch tube on here, I'm probably not going to be able to use it. But for the 25s and the 19s, I should be able to use this from now on to make it easier to do some adjustments and stuff if I can't reach easily back behind here. But the K7000s are usually fairly easy to do without having to move this around. But anyway, so that's the purpose of having these longer video and power cables, is so I can spin this around. I can also go the opposite direction if I need to. But anyway, so enough dilly-dallying and jibber-jabbering and digressing here. We are ready for power, and I want to see if this will now work. So I did not do the other caps yet. I'll do that off camera in the cleanup like I mentioned. We're just interested to see if this works now after finding that backwards cap and doing some reflow and changing the fuse. I also, in preparation, put all the color pots to center. I wiped them back and forth a bunch of times like I normally do and put them all to center for a good baseline, because half of them were turned like all the way down and they weren't set properly at all, and I don't think it would have looked very good. I forgot to turn off the light here. So, okay, I guess what we'll do is we have our MK1 board plugged in, so let's go ahead and let's get the controls here ready just in case I need to use them for anything. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. We have operation. But that doesn't look good. That does not look good. Whoa, and Well, it's operational now. I'm worried that maybe there's other caps that need replaced that weren't. I was told this operated prior to the cap kit, and the only thing that we found was the backward C57. But I don't know if you saw there, as that was working, it's kind of collapsed a little bit on the top. I wonder if that's just a 50-60 Hertz pod. Is that turned all the way to the right there? It's like 95%, so we'll put it back about 75%. And let's try this again. And this contrast pod, I want to put to about middle here. Okay, let's see what happens now. It doesn't sound right. Yeah, there's something wrong. Do I need to adjust vertical hold? Okay, there's vertical hold, and something's not right, because if you saw there, the image kept stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching. That is not good. So there is still something wrong here. I possibly could have overlooked something. Let's turn our black level up slightly. Oh, it's all the way up. Okay, well, let's turn it back down. Turn this down slightly on the flyback. Huh. I'm wondering if we have an IC1 issue. Could also be IC2. Let's try this again here. Yeah, if you watch it, it's just getting... I don't want to run it very long. There's an oscillation issue. It's locked on with the hold. The hold is locked on. It's not a horizontal hold problem. Is the horizontal hold pot broken? Did I overlook that? I don't think so. Let's try this again. I want to see if adjusting that horizontal hold does anything. Okay, well, it's yeah. It's making a very odd noise too, a high frequency oscillation issue. Well, I need to pour back over it. We know our power circuit is good. What's causing the oscillation issue? Is there a broken pot that I overlooked? Is there a bad connection I overlooked? All of our pots seem to be functional. Oh, nope. I overlooked it. H position is broken. H position is broken. Right? Well, let's just, it's hard to see. But H position, there you go. I broke it a little bit more, but it was broken. So H position, I overlooked it. You know what? Let me grab another working remote board and just slave it in and see if maybe that is the cause of our problem. Okay, so just like that, I dumped out my big box of remote boards, and I just happen to have a complete spare working 7000 remote boards, so I just slaved this on, haven't adjusted anything. Let's go ahead and just see if that H position pod is part of the cause of our problem here. So 1, 2, 3. Well, there you go. Whoa, that was odd. Well, obviously contrast is too high right there. Brightness is too high. We're going to put brightness and contrast all the way down. Yeah, we got screen pot's too high, so we'll turn the screen pot down until the lines go away, which is right there. Now we'll turn up our black level until the background is no longer black, which is right there. And then I'll turn it down until it goes black, which is right there. Supplement with contrast. Wow. Turn brightness back down slightly. And, well, in person, see, oh no, hold on. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, let's acknowledge our, and it works. So there's no reason to mess with adjusting using this one because we need to use this one. But yeah, it looks like that H position pot is part of the problem. That I wonder though, because it kept stretching. Now that has nothing to do with H position. I wonder if I increase vertical size. I talked about not messing with this one, but I want to see what happens if we H position. That's not bad. We need to redo our 50 to 60 hertz pot though. It may have been set properly. I need to turn it back to, oh yeah, there we go. Right there. Vertical size. Hey, look at that. Colors need adjusted, but wow, okay. I think that'll work. Wow, okay, now we just need to change that H position pot. It's odd though, when this was, I'm gonna turn the contrast back down on this. Vertical size. I wonder if I maxed the vertical size out. Something was odd there because if you recall, I don't know if you noticed or not, but in person it was very noticeable. As it was warming up, it kept stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching, and I was turning it off. And I don't know if that shouldn't have had anything to do with the H position, but it could have been affecting it IC1 there in some way other than I was expecting, but it could also have something to do with some of those caps that didn't get changed out. But either way, I'll do the caps and a little bit more reflow that didn't get changed out. I'll change the caps that didn't get changed out, a little bit more reflow, clean up all the flux, and we'll call it good. But for the meantime, let me change out this broken H position pot, and we'll get everything readjusted using this original one and see how it looks after that. Okay, so I did not have a spare board that had a functional H position pot, so I had to use one from my stash of spare ones here. But everything else is still exactly set where it was the last time we tried to use this one. So let's see what happens using this one here, if it's any better or worse. So here we go. Whoa, see, that's what I was... And then it's getting taller, vertical size. Probably just needs to come down, yeah, okay. H position, works fine. All right, now we need to, I think what I was seeing earlier where it was just getting taller and taller and taller is because the vertical size was too high as the caps were charging up. So I think it's actually probably not a problem now that I see it functioning normally and it's not still going up. Okay, so black level all the way down, contrast all the way down. Again, screen pot, I wonder if it's set properly already. Yeah, okay, down till it goes away, right there. Black level till it's not black anymore, down till it is black. Contrast up. I'll say right there, looks good, and brightness down just slightly, a little more right there. Okay, we'll acknowledge the error, and all right. I don't know why I've got dirty lens here. See if that helps. A little bit. All right. I can't turn the brightness up because in the background won't be black anymore. Right about there. I think that's good. We'll see. I think we're just too blue there. Okay. So, let's see if we can just do some quick adjustments here. We'll adjust our blue drive down slightly. Okay, we'll turn our green drive up just a little bit. And our red drive up slightly. Now let's do our cutoff. Okay, that's better. Look at that. Awesome. Vertical position, we'll put right there. Vertical size, go back to there. Hachi Machi, okay. It looks more blue in person. In person, actually, I should say, it looks more blue in the camera. In person, this is nice and gray. So this is perfect in person, glorious. Through the camera here, it looks a little bit too blue from what it should be, but trust me, in person, it's fantastic. We have a nice, perfect width. If anything, it needs to be increased just ever so slightly, but I think it's probably okay. I can grab the width tool and we can make sure that that's working here. We'll see. Here we go, width tools, and we'll grab one of the two that I have, and let's see if we can do this here roughly easily. And let's grab the shorter one. I've got the shorter one here, like this. And we will, of course, don't do what I'm doing. Never do what I'm doing. I'm a trained amateur. So we're going to put this in the core there and see if we can. We're still a bit too blue. Does that not go? Oh, this darn thing is broken. Gosh dang it. And I can't access that because I wonder if I can just bend this slightly to get in there. Yes, okay. And wrong way. There we go. Awesome. And we're still just slightly too blue, so there we go. Fantastic. Okay. Well, there you go. We had a backwards cap, a blown fuse, a bunch of iffy solder joints, and 2 broken pots. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to go through and replace those caps that weren't replaced the first time around, do a little bit more reflow, some cleanup, and we'll call this done. So there you go. Somewhat quick and easy. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I got no shortage of content here in the future. I think if I had to count, I've probably got about 19 more complete monitors that I need to work, and as well as I think half a dozen more chassis, and that's just the stuff that I have. So yeah, well, that includes the other monitors that this person brought me. So I have about 14 or 15 monitors that I picked up recently that are complete that I need to work on, not including the other 5 or so from this person. So yeah, there you have it. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And stay tuned for more, much more.